Hi, welcome to Community Connections, brought to you by Arizona Care Hospice. I am your host, Sandy Dyke with Arizona Care Hospice, and today I'm joined by Esmeralda. She is also part of Arizona Care Hospice, and we're going to be talking to you a little bit about one of our sites. As you know, we are located all around in Prescott Valley, the Greater Phoenix Valley, as well as Payson. And so today we're going to be focusing on our Payson site, give you a little bit of insight as to that community and how we're involved not only with the Payson general community, but the veteran community as well. And so welcome, Esmeralda. Just want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Taking time out of your busy day. But I just want our listeners to understand a little bit more about maybe who Esmeralda is, how you came to be with Arizona Care Hospice, and then we'll go from there. So if you can introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, as Sandy mentioned, my name is Esmeralda, and I've joined the Arizona Care Hospice team. I think we've been together for a little over 5 months or so. I've done caregiving my whole life as a professional. So that's kind of how I came to Arizona Care Hospice through Carrie, who does marketing for us, and just kind of got connected there. And I love the mission. I love what hospice is about. So that's how I came to be.
Awesome. Now, are you a Payson native?
I'm not. I'm not even an Arizona native.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, no, I'm kidding.
Goodbye.
But sure, you've been in the Payson community for a little bit now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I've been in the Payson community now for about 4 years. Okay. Going on 4 years. Yes.
So what draws you to the Payson community? Why are you in Payson versus where I'm in Phoenix? What is it about Payson?
It's got to be like that Mayberry feeling. It's a very small, quaint little town, and you're known very well by other people. Okay. So it's just like, it's
small community.
Yeah, small community. I really like that feeling, like knowing that even though my neighbors may know my thoughts, they also know if I'm in trouble and they can help. So it's nice having that.
Well, and I know the last few times, well, I shouldn't say few times, I've been up there more than a few, but the last few times I've been up there, it just reinforces when you are interacting with the community, or in some of our events that we're going to be talking about that we've had in the Payson community, everybody is like family. Everybody's very close knit. I know you go to the Walmarts or you go to the restaurants and you're like, hey, how's it going? And everybody, it's almost like that Cheers feeling.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you. So it's nice that it has that really close-knit family feel.
Yes.
And really with hospice, with Arizona Care Hospice, that's truly what we strive for, is to be an extension of that family for our patients.
Yes.
And so I know your role with Arizona Care Hospice, it kind of goes in different areas. You help in all different, you're kind of that jack of all trades for us in the patient community. And so one of the key components, though, that you're involved in is our volunteer and veteran community.
Yes.
So, can you talk a little bit about the veteran population in Payson? I know for our organization, that is one of our more populated veteran areas. And so can you talk a little bit about that, maybe how you interact or connect with the veterans in the community?
Yes. So initially, the veteran community is pretty big in Payson. We are kind of like a retirement area. So you have a lot of older community and older vets. So it's not rare that you'll bump into somebody who's a veteran in Payson, like you said, at the Walmart, at a restaurant or whatever.
Sure.
You have a good base for veterans. How I came into like being connected with them was with Denise Carnahan.
Denise is another member of our team.
Yeah. So she introduced me to something that they started off like trying to really connect with our veterans there. And they started really small with just bringing donuts to a meeting that they were having. Initially, that group was only about 4 people. And now it's grown to like 3 times that,
I was going to say,
if not more.
It's a good size group when I was there a few months ago.
Yes.
Great group of gentlemen.
Oh my God. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
They'll tease you for just about anything, but they'll definitely be there if they need to be, you know. So it's
Nice.
amazing to connect with them and just kind of see what they're involved in. So there's different things that they'll do. Like I know for St. Patrick's Day they had some small event between themselves.
Okay.
I know that here in the near future in August, they have the Welcome Home Vietnam Vets, which is something that we're looking to be a part of with them.
Awesome.
So it's a good time. It's good to connect and network to find other vets in other communities, not necessarily just Payson.
Well, and I know just kind of piggybacking on that, our location here in the Valley, I know they're looking, or they are starting a veterans coffee group here because of the great turnout and great response that it's had in Payson for the veterans.
Yeah.
It's just, bringing that brother sisterhood together. They have that safe place to talk, share stories, and just, it's definitely a unique group in that it's a great support for them.
And that's, like you said, what I love about the community is like they may be from different branches of the military, but they all share that camaraderie of being in the service and having that experience. And especially if you have combat vets, there's a different or a deeper level even to that. So it's nice to, be a spectator or a wallflower and get to see them interact with each other.
Right. Well, and this was, we had the Fallen Comrade ceremony. I think that prior. Were you?
That was a little bit before I joined the team.
And that was an awesome event that we had partnered with for the Payson community. And it gave the veterans a chance to, it was more for those veterans that maybe didn't get the appreciation and focus that they deserved and should have had. And it was really just a neat program that we were able to partner with and we're looking to doing that again. So maybe you'll be part of that
definitely
in the near future.
Anything I can help with veterans that, like you said, our association is very big on that. And I think that's one of the things that makes us stand out is how much we do appreciate their service and what they've done for this country, because, not everybody can or will. So it's something that we're very, very grateful for.
So as part of the volunteer program and the veterans program that we get involved in, we also do a pinning ceremony. So can you tell me a little bit about the pinning ceremony, what that entails and what the purpose of that would be?
So the pinning ceremony is a way to commemorate their life achievement in the service. And it's like a very special moment. I have yet to be a part of one, but I know Denise and Samara, who have been a part of pinning ceremonies, say that they're always very intimate and they're always very appreciative of when we do that, because like we said, they didn't always get that recognition or that appreciation. So for somebody to come out and say, hey, we see you, we thank you, and we're grateful. So it's a very neat opportunity, and I can't wait for my first one.
Awesome. And I know members of our care team also participate in those. I know our chaplains have attended those with our team. Our social workers have attended those. And so it's a very intimate time for us to give recognition to, like you said, their achievement, what they have done in the military for us, for our country. And it's really, it can be more than just intimate. It's really truly up to the veteran as to who they want to attend. Some have family members attend that, and it's done right there in the comfort of their home, wherever they call home. And again, it's not something that has to happen either. It's truly the veteran's choice.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So, some veterans don't want any part of that. Their time in the service and that was it and they're done. But other veterans, it's like, it's nice to go down that memory lane and like we said, the camaraderie and kind of having those experiences that, not a lot of us will or do have.
Right.
So.
And I like that you said, we were talking about it's the choice of the veteran, because there are some experiences that it's very difficult for the veteran to go back there and recall those moments, that time. And we completely respect that. But we also want to be there to thank them and acknowledge them if that's what they choose to. So definitely we respect that choice of the veteran.
Right. It can be as big or as private or non-existent as they want. And we just want to give them the option to do that if they do want it.
Awesome. So kind of hand in hand, but kind of aside from that, at the same time, is just our volunteer program in general. So again, Payson, we're focusing on our Payson community today. And so from a volunteer standpoint, and again, I'm kind of going outside of the specific veteran volunteer, but just volunteers in general, what does that mean to be a volunteer for our hospice organization?
So what it means to be a volunteer is you help in any way you can, with the exception of patient care. So you can come in and help us in office work, or if we have somebody that comes in and does haircuts, they're a licensed esthetician, so they volunteer their time in providing haircuts or manicures or pedicures. It just really depends on the patient need, and if we have a volunteer that is able or willing to fill that need. Sometimes it's just sitting with a patient while their loved one goes out and runs an errand, or, just providing some kind of relief in those areas, as long as it's not patient care.
Okay. Is there any prerequisites? Are there any requirements or experience that volunteers need to have, or?
Not necessarily experience. I mean, we do go through an interview process, and having, certain those requirements met, like, making sure that we get a TB test done, or going through a program that lets you kind of know exactly what we're about and what volunteers are able and not able to do. So once those are, that checklist is crossed off, then you're ready to go, as long as you're willing.
Okay. And I think that's awesome, because a lot of people look to give back to the community and they're not quite sure how to go about doing that. And I know a lot of times hospice can be very scary for some folks to be involved with. And then I guess if somebody is out there listening and they want to get involved, they want to be some kind of a support and give back to the community, but maybe they're just not sure about hospice. Is there anything that we could share with them to kind of ease their mind if they have that hesitancy and maybe not as comfortable maybe with the hospice environment?
So kind of like we said, there is admin side of it that they could come in and volunteer their time and kind of get their feet wet and see if, this is something that they would want to be a part of. Mm-hmm. If we're a good fit, if they're a good fit, it's a good opportunity there. I know that a lot of times it does develop into something more. Like we had one of our employees, they started off as a volunteer and then slowly progressed into being now a CNA, and now she's going to school to be a nurse and would like to be a hospice nurse. So there's a lot of opportunity with being a volunteer. You definitely get your foot in the door to experience new things.
Awesome. And is there any time commitment or requirement in that sense? Do they have to give so many hours per week, per day?
No, we respect your time, and we're grateful to have you as a volunteer. So it's totally up to you how much you can and want to give, and we'll take it.
And if people have different hobbies or skill sets that they want to share, I have a little friendly fly here. I know we want to always look at that too, because each patient that we have is individual. They come to us with individual histories and interests. And I know when volunteers come to us, we always want to find out where not experience, but where those interests are for our volunteers, or maybe if they have a specific hobby and maybe we can match that up with our patients.
So actually when you come in and, we start filling out that packet for, signing up to be a volunteer, there's a section in there where we do talk about what are your hobbies? What are your likes, your dislikes? And that kind of gives us a guideline to also with our patients, like who would be a good fit for this particular patient, because we know a little bit more about you. So it's easier to fit you with probably somebody who would line up better personality wise, even, based on hobbies and interests.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate you being here, because I know there's just, when it comes to hospice, there's a lot of education that has to be done out there, and even more so when it has to do with volunteering in general.
Yes.
And volunteering with hospice. If somebody would want to volunteer, what would be their first steps?
So we can call the main office, our patient office number, or refer to our website, arizonacarehospice.com.
Okay.
And there's plenty of information there specifically on volunteer topics where the most frequently asked questions, you'll find them there, and it can take you to your next step.
And what if they choose to call the office? What is the Payson main office phone number they would call?
It would be 928-474-3721.
Awesome. Awesome. And again, if that's not an option, if people just are sitting around at night, just, thinking, what would that mean? Again, the website is ArizonaCareHospice.com.
Yes.
And all the information is there. They could also reach out to our main office in Fountain Hills as well. Again, we're talking Payson today, but we have volunteer opportunities at all locations of ours,
Right.
Prescott Valley, the greater area Phoenix, as well as Payson. And so, you could call that Payson main number. You can also call our Fountain Hills number, 480-588-8200. And somebody is always there to take that call, get you information and kind of go from there. So thank you, Esmeralda.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
you taking some time today and chatting with us. And, we're all about educating the community and getting those resources out there to people. So again, my name is Sandy. I am the host for today with Arizona Care Hospice. If you have not already liked this podcast, please be sure to share and like. And again, if you, as much as you can share us and help us get that word out to the community of the resources that we have to offer, we appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to connecting on our next podcast with you.
Thank you.